Tonight on CTV News.
Yes, we need to get our daughter to school, and we need to make sure that people are paid fair wages.
A stressful day for Air Canada passengers as the airline cancels hundreds of flights ahead of a possible strike by flight attendants, now just hours away.
These sorts of things are unseasonable. You don't expect them, but I wouldn't say unprecedented.
A very October-like storm soaks the South Coast in August. The latest on the rainfall warning issued for the area. And Donald Trump rolls out the red carpet to meet Vladimir Putin for a high-stakes summit in Alaska.
This is CTV News with Mary Cranston.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Mijung is off tonight. We begin with an unusual weather system for August that's bringing heavy rain to much of the South Coast. It's a storm we typically see here in the fall in Metro Vancouver, but fire crews say it's bringing much needed relief for wildfires, particularly on Vancouver Island. CTV's Dimitra Maragos joins us live from downtown Vancouver. Dimitra, still very wet outside, but the weather is expected to clear up this weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm down here at Pacific and Nelson, and I'm telling you, it is changing by the minute. Just a couple minutes ago, it was absolutely pouring. Now, it's a little bit of a mist, but right behind me about an hour ago, those streets were absolutely flooded with rainwater. City crews were working to remove some of that water from the streets, but experts are saying this could be the rainfall that we needed.
It's coming down in Metro Vancouver, whether you're undercover or not. Although it's summer, no one
Welcome to Vancouver.
is surprised.
We came prepared.
And all agree that sometimes
You just get amongst it. It's good.
we just have to suck it up.
Rain doesn't deter us at all.
And with unseasonably dry weather, passersby say it's a good thing.
I think we needed it.
With the recent Wesley Ridge and Mount Underwood fires on Vancouver Island, experts agree.
The rain has helped reduce fire behavior in the areas that were exhibiting the most extreme fire activity.
But how much is Metro Vancouver really getting?
It's going to be a substantial rainfall event.
A lot.
Well, most areas of Metro Vancouver can expect around 50 millimeters or so.
Other areas could be getting around 80 millimeters of rain. And although it's unseasonal,
I wouldn't say unprecedented.
but this large frontal system bringing in the moisture isn't here to stay.
This system's going to roll through pretty quickly.
Regardless, spirits are high, even if the temperature isn't.
Rain or shine, we are coming out. We got the umbrellas. We've got our friendship. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, and just another reminder tonight, the roads are going to be sleek, and if the rain does pick up again, your visibility isn't going to be that great. So be patient, don't go in a rush anywhere, and always be safe. Mary?
All right, Dimitra Maragos reporting live in downtown Vancouver. 4 hours now and counting until Air Canada flight attendants walk off the job. Their union today rejecting binding arbitration. Air Canada has been winding down operations since yesterday ahead of a looming work stoppage. It has canceled hundreds of flights. Craig Krause has more from YVR, where travelers have been scrambling.
Panic setting in for many Air Canada passengers on Friday, as dozens of flights coming to and from YVR are scrapped.
It's a bad luck.
One passenger after another scrambling to find a way home.
I am thinking to buy another ticket with another airline.
I don't mind. It's just I need to find another solution.
All caught in the crossfire as a union representing more than 10,000 flight attendants and Air Canada negotiate on a new contract that the union is asking for higher wages and compensation for unpaid work.
Flight attendants are meant to be in the skies, not on the ground fighting for their rights.
Yes, we need to get our daughter to school, and we need to make sure that people are paid fair wages.
While tens of thousands of passengers are left on the ground, Air Canada says it's working to refund them and reschedule flights with over 200 global competitors.
However, the challenge is that we are in the summer peak, and there's just not a lot of space available at this time.
YVR bringing in additional staff to also help navigate the turbulence.
If you are flying today, please do check that your flight is confirmed and is operating before you come to the airport.
In the meantime, if a deal cannot be reached, the entire network of of Air Canada flights will be shut down starting at 10 p.m. Now it's a wait-and-see approach to see if a deal can be made or if customers will have to face the consequences. Craig Crowe, CTV News, Richmond.
Breaking news out of Alaska, where a highly anticipated summit between the leaders of the U.S. and Russia has ended without a deal on the war in Ukraine. Kevin Chirac is following this in the Breaking News Center. Kevin, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin held a joint press conference after their meeting. What did we learn?
Well, Mary, after nearly 3 hours of talks, both leaders described the meeting as productive while sharing few details of their discussion. Speaking to reporters first, Putin described the U.S. and Russia as neighbors and said he and Trump had reached a, quote, understanding on Ukraine. Trump had entered the meeting with the goal of reaching an agreement to end the war in Ukraine and had to admit afterwards that didn't happen.
Tough meetings. So there's no deal until there's a deal. I will call up NATO in a little while. I will call up the various people that I think are appropriate, and I'll, of course, call up President Zelensky and tell him about today's meeting. It's ultimately up to them.
The brief press conference ended after 12 minutes, and neither leader took questions afterwards. Leading up to the meeting, Trump had suggested his goal was a second trilateral meeting that would include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, but he and Putin walked away from the summit with no concrete plans to meet again, although Putin has suggested the next time they do, it should be in Moscow. Mary.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. On his way to Alaska, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters that his planned semiconductor tariffs could climb as high as 300%. CTV's Rachel Aiello on what this could mean for Canada as new polling shows anxiety over cross-border relations is skyrocketing.
Donald Trump says he's about to send tariffs on semiconductors climbing. Aboard Air Force One, the U.S. president said that either next week or the week after, he'll be taking new trade action against the microchips that help power virtually all electronic devices.
We're going to have a rate that is going to be lower at the beginning. Then that gives them a chance to come in and build, and very high after a certain period of time. And if they don't build here, they have to pay a very high tariff, which doesn't work, so they'll come and build.
Today, the Canadian sector, which does big business south of the border, said Trump's threat could have big implications, not only for consumers, but the country as a whole.
Semiconductors underpin the entire innovation economy. And if you're not able to access semiconductors, you're not actually able to be sovereign in the ways that we mean it in the 21st century.
With another sector now bracing for Trump's impact, new polling indicates anxiety over the state of Canada-U.S. relations is skyrocketing. Nanos' latest numbers show that in the last month, Trump and the state of trade talks overtook the economy and jobs as the top national issue of concern.
Knowing that as time goes by and as Canadian jobs are at risk because of this trade uncertainty, that there will be increasing pressure for the government, not just to get some sort of deal and to bring stability to the relationship, but to also help industries that are currently suffering as a result of Donald Trump.
Nick Nano said that while the Liberals still have a sizable advantage over the other parties in the polls, succeeding or failing on the Trump file is shaping up to be the first defining test for Prime Minister Mark Carney. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
An unsettling discovery by the Shishaf First Nation on the Sunshine Coast. Dozens more unmarked graves, remnants of a dark chapter in Canadian history.
Today we announce an additional 41 unmarked graves found, bringing our total to 81.
The search using ground-penetrating radar began in April 2023 when the first unmarked graves were discovered on the site of a former residential school. Chief Lenora Joe says the latest discoveries are not surprising. 12 kayakers, including 6 children, are back on dry land after they were rescued near the San Juan Islands. Authorities received a distress call just before 2 yesterday afternoon. They say 2 families had gone on a guided overnight kayaking tour and encountered challenging conditions on their way back. An RCMP ship-rider team was patrolling nearby and helped with the rescue effort, working alongside crews from the U.S. Coast Guard. No injuries were reported. Rainfall is slowing the growth of the Mount Underwood wildfire near Port Alberni. Local states of emergency remain in effect as the fire remains out of control. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, the weather has its positives, but it's also presenting new challenges.
A thick smog has settled over the Alberni Valley as rain touches down on the Mount Underwood wildfire burning nearby.
It's about time. Yeah, it should help the fire. I hope it rains a lot harder, too.
Cooler, wetter weather is helping with the fight against the fire, which is now believed to be human-caused.
We'll get some more rain tonight and probably tomorrow morning, and then it stays cool, although it does look a little bit drier for the end of the weekend.
Poor visibility is preventing the BC Wildfire Service from understanding the current size of the fire, burning 8 kilometers south of Port Alberni. Its aircraft are grounded due to smoke and fog.
Even though the aircraft aren't flying, the people on the ground are out there doing the work that they need to do.
Now that the fire isn't as aggressive, they can hose and dig in areas that were previously too dangerous.
Ultimately, it is the crews on the ground that do extinguish it.
They're prioritizing work on the northwest corner of the fire due to the presence of structures like this campground and because of its proximity to the Alberni Valley.
The fire is not actively growing, actively moving, and we're not seeing any notable fire activity.
Parks Canada is trying to take some pressure off the communities near the West Coast Trail that are without power because of the fire.
Parks Canada is waiving all our regular cancellation fees and offering full refunds to any visitors on the West Coast Trail, and have restricted any new reservations to the area as we're implementing this stage reduction to visits.
Those going ahead with their hike are asked to take a shuttle bus instead of driving their personal vehicles to Bamfield.
We're not aware of any significant issues with hikers going on and off the trail other than the obvious closure of the travel routes to Port Alberni.
The Wildfire Service says rainfall totals over the next few days will determine the trajectory of the fire and whether its crews can get it under control anytime soon. Anna McMillan, CTV News.
The rain is helping crews fight the already weakened Wesley Ridge wildfire on Vancouver Island. The inferno continues to be held as crews work to suppress hotspots within 100 feet of the fire's perimeter. The Wesley Ridge wildfire has remained at nearly 590 hectares since Saturday, which is roughly around the size of Okanagan Lake. According to the Regional District of Nanaimo, people affected by evacuation orders will be eligible for emergency support until Monday morning. With wildfire season well underway, the proper planning can make all the difference in an evacuation. The BC SPCA is reminding pet owners not to forget their furry family members in those plans.
Harness, water bottle, treats. Medication is so important because a lot of people forget about that, and some animals rely on it daily. Make sure you have your medication. And then here we've got information about tattooing and microchipping. Okay. Make sure your information is up to date.
The branch manager for Vancouver offering some suggestions on what to pack in your pet's emergency bag. Jody Dunlop recommends downloading the BC SPCA disaster planning checklist. Okay. Nearly 9 million birds have been killed in BC because of avian flu over the past few years, but there will be new defense measures in the Fraser Valley this fall to try and prevent poultry flocks from getting infected. CTV's Michelle Bernoro has more on a program just announced by the province.
Ray Nickel lost 9,000 turkeys last year when his barn was infected with avian flu. Despite strict biosecurity measures, it was the second time the virus had shown up at one of his farms.
The anxiety about avian influenza is real, and it does weigh on producers. Like, nobody wants to have to go through that.
Brad Driediger also went through the same stress, losing 60,000 birds on his organic chicken farm.
It's a really difficult disease to fight because it's like having an invisible enemy.
Now the province has announced $2.5 million to help poultry producers in the Fraser Valley upgrade their barns. The ministry says the funding will allow about 75 farms to introduce tools and measures to try and reduce the risk of avian flu infecting their flocks.
That means there's about $30,000 for 75 egg and poultry producers to add things into their barns like HEPA filters, to install ultraviolet light systems.
Riediger is already partway through installing a system that he hopes will keep the virus out.
This is a new heat exchanger we've installed that we're going to be adding filtration to. So this will now be the one of the only spots that the air is going to come into.
He says the province's program comes after reviewing research and collaborating with farmers on a solution that could be implemented before migratory bird season begins. Meanwhile, Nickel is using his cooling pads as part of a means to filter the air in his barns.
I have filtration systems in those systems, and so I can at least reduce the amount of dust and feathers that might come in through the air intake.
The key element is really trying to avoid anything that creates a bridge between wild birds, their droppings, and domestic poultry.
Farmers hope the new measures will help put a stop to the devastating number of avian flu outbreaks. Michelle Bernoro, CTV News, Abbotsford.
Despite today's washout in Metro Vancouver, it's been a banner summer for stone fruit in the Okanagan. After suffering a disastrous season last year, peaches, cherries, and nectarines are plentiful, leading to sales that longtime farmers say may be their best ever. CTV's Shannon Patterson has more.
The peaches are perfect and the cherries plump and juicy.
It's a fabulous year for growing fruit here in the Okanagan.
It's been a banner summer for BC's stone fruit farmers.
It makes me want to keep farming. It's been so good to see the abundance of fruit on all the trees.
This abundance is a lifeline for Okanagan farmers whose crops were wiped out by a deep freeze in 2024.
It was really heartbreaking and expensive for any farmer because you have to take care of the trees for another 12 months before you're going to get a crop out of them.
This year's weather has been ideal for stone fruit trees, and the yield has been off the charts.
Everybody's really excited. There's nothing like biting into an Okanagan grown peach. That is what everybody's coming out for. They're coming to pick their own, and they're coming to experience the orchards again.
Customers are all really happy. I think, you know the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and I think that's definitely been true with the fruit this year.
Farmers who've been growing here for decades can't remember the last time they've had a season like this.
We haven't had a year like 2025. We had a few challenges over the years with the relocation of the highway, but we are having sales days that blow the doors off of even our best days before the highway moved.
Not only is the quality top-notch, locally grown fruit is what British Columbians are looking for.
I'm convinced that there's more people willing to specifically buy BC fruit and are capable and willing to pay a fair price for it. So all of those factors are contributing to be just a banner year here in 2025 at the farm.
Farmers know Mother Nature is unpredictable and anything could happen next year.
It's a bit of a roller coaster if you're a farmer. We've been through it, and right now we're kind of right at that peak.
British Columbians have a few more weeks to enjoy the peak deliciousness. Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Vancouver is set to host the first ever WNBA regular season game outside the U.S. tonight. The best bets and props as women's professional basketball builds momentum when CTV News continues. Tonight marks another historic moment in women's sports. The WNBA will be holding its first regular season game in Vancouver. And as CTV's Isabella Zaffarisi reports, it's another example of how women's sports are growing in popularity.
Will step back and fire.
Atlanta may have beat Seattle Thursday, but come Friday night, fans may see a different result in a northern venue. For the first time, the WNBA is holding a regular season game in Vancouver, and a lot is on the line.
Both of these teams are playing to be in the playoffs. They want to get far in the playoffs, and so just get ready for really good basketball, really intense, action between the two teams, but also just like a big celebration of basketball and growing the global game.
The WNBA is seeing record ticket sales thanks to its popularity and stars like Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA has continued to grow. We see the numbers are there, the viewing's there.
The league plans to expand to 18 teams by 2030. Its first Canadian team is the Toronto Tempo.
We've been asking for this, and for little girls to, look at the W and maybe see themselves in some of the players and go to the games and be excited and just look at all the momentum.
For Vancouver youth star Selena Kilatan, who plays for the Rain City Basketball Club, attending tonight's game at Rogers Arena will be memorable.
When you're watching it on TV, it's so big. It's such a huge thing. It's so far away sometimes. It doesn't seem real, but having it in Vancouver, being able to go today is really cool.
Women's sports are having a moment in Vancouver. Just this year, the PWHL launched an expansion team, and the Vancouver Rise played their first game in April.
It's just people finally catching up. I think the talent's always been there, the excitement's always been there.
For the many young women who will be watching tonight's game, it's about more than basketball.
It's just a good reminder that we can do whatever we put our mind to.
Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
The BC Lions will be moved out of their home stadium next season to make way for the FIFA World Cup. The CFL announced today that the Lions will have to relocate for 2 home games next season. That's because the FIFA World Cup is moving into BC Place on May 14th. The tournament takes over venues for 30 days before the first match. 7 games will be played at BC Place from June 13th to July 7th. The CFL has yet to reveal where the Lions will play instead. Well, exciting times next June, and the city's going to be bustling.
Oh, it is going to be very busy, and hopefully we'll have nicer weather than what we saw today. Definitely fall-like out there. Yeah. It was a soaker, and the rain continues right now, and will continue to do so as we head through the overnight. We still have warnings in place across Metro Vancouver, as well as the Sunshine Coast, Howe Sound, and the Fraser Valley, including Abbotsford, 50 to 80 millimeters when everything is said and done. As we head into tomorrow morning, we'll start off with some showers, but it does dry up quite nicely, and we'll see a high of 22 degrees.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
The rain event was a one-day only event, which is today. It clears up quite nicely into the weekend and next week as well. Those details coming up.
Beautiful. All right, thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
We're dealing with rain here, but it doesn't compare to what Pakistan and India are dealing with. Flash flooding kills at least 280 people, with scores still missing. More on the devastation just ahead. Welcome back. More than 200 people are dead and many more are missing after a massive cloudburst triggered flash floods in Pakistan. The scale of destruction is clear from these images as rescue operations get underway in the northwest part of the country. Cloudbursts are sudden, intense downpours that have become increasingly common in parts of India and Pakistan. Experts blame climate change as well as increased unplanned development in mountain regions. The first hurricane of the season is blowing towards Puerto Rico. Hurricane Erin strengthened into a Category 1 storm this morning, about 700 kilometers east of the Leeward Islands in the northern Caribbean. The storm is expected to continue to gain strength through the weekend as it takes aim at the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. It could reach Category 4 by late Sunday or Monday. Devastating wildfires continue to tear through northwest Spain and parts of Portugal. Fueled by one of the longest heat waves since records began, about 1,500 square kilometers have already burned in Spain. Nearly 24 fires are raging in the country, and almost 10,000 people have been evacuated from their homes. Well, history was made in Quebec this morning as students from Concordia University launched their own rocket into space.
We're going now.
A liftoff 7 years in the making. Why the future looks bright. History was made in Quebec this morning as students from Concordia University launched their own rocket into space. The mission marks a number of firsts, including Canada's first space launch in over 25 years and the first to be achieved by a team of students. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin reports.
5:34 a.m. on a remote base camp on Cree territory. The Star Sailor rocket set for blastoff.
We're going now.
A liftoff on a live stream 7 years in the making. Built from the dreams of Concordia University students and the collaboration of the local Cree community. In 2018, the aspiring engineers set out to reach for the stars with the largest, most powerful student-built rocket ever made. The Spark was an intercollegiate race to launch a liquid fuel rocket into space, but that was canceled by the pandemic. Still, Concordia students forged ahead in their attempt to make history. Their goal, launch Star Sailor and breach the edge of space. 700 students pitched in over the years, devoting countless hours to their space quest.
The launch is on schedule. Thank you for joining us so early in the morning. We're coming to you live from AUET, a few hours north of Mistissini, Quebec.
The flight got clearance from Transport Canada. The local airspace was closed. Bad weather scrubbed 2 earlier launch dates.
This is insane.
This time, it was all systems go.
Now that was the largest student-built rocket ever flown. Pretty cool.
Though this is rocket science, and so it's hard. And students saw firsthand that simulations are not reality.
What we can tell you right now is that it does look like it separated earlier and burned out earlier than we expected. So things did not go to plan.
The team is now tracing the trajectory and will only be able to see if Star Sailor made it to space once it analyzes the debris.
See you in space next time.
Still, the future looks bright. Now the team is recovering the rocket's components with the help of local helicopter pilots. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Well, tensions were high at a town hall in Edmonton last night as the Alberta Next panel, which includes the Alberta Premier, faced a polarizing crowd.
Alberta doesn't really want you doing this right now. We don't want this.
So, Danielle Smith, do you agree that Alberta should remain in Canada? And will you sign this petition?
So they should have the same respect for our jurisdiction as we do for theirs, is what I would say. So yes, we do believe in a united Canada and an Alberta sovereign within it.
A long-serving MLA, a strong advocate.
The panel brainstorms with the public about possible referendum questions. There was some division and outrage in the crowd, but many supported ideas such as pulling out of the Canada Pension Plan and creating a provincial police force. A show of hands came down in favor of withholding social services from some immigrants and reforming economic equalization between provinces. A man in Washington, D.C. is facing felony charges after hurling a hoagie at a federal agent earlier this week. Video shows the man confronting an agent before throwing what appears to be a Subway sandwich. Officials say he was arrested Wednesday and has since been fired from his job at the Department of Justice. The federal agents are stationed in the Capitol as part of President Trump's vow to crack down on crime, sparking widespread anger in the city. If convicted, the suspect could face up to 8 years in prison. Still to come, sweet relief.
This approach can really, safeguard strawberries.
For humans, melatonin helps us sleep. For strawberries, it may be a tool for survival in a warming world. Here's a look at today's markets. The Canadian dollar was unchanged, trading for 72 cents to the American dollar. Oil lost more than $1, ending the day at $61.98 U.S. a barrel. Gold was down 60 cents today. The TSX ended the day 10 points lower, while the Dow Jones gained 34 points. The latest data from the Canadian Real Estate Association shows home sales increased for the 4th consecutive month in July, and more listings are expected to be added in the fall.
There's a big burst of fresh, new, exciting listings, usually in the first week of September.
We saw that last year. Buyers jumped all over it. I think they might jump all over them even more this year.
National home sales last month were up 3.8% from June. The numbers suggest more buyers are returning to the market. Nearly 2 weeks after pedaling out of Victoria, a group of cyclists have gained a dozen riders on their cross-country tour for Parkinson's awareness. The Spinning Wheels Tour is a 2-month cross-country bike ride that has riders hitting the road from both coasts, meeting in the middle and finishing in Toronto on September 13th. The West Coast leg kicked off in BC's capital on August 2nd, and 12 cyclists joined in Calgary this week after being moved by the mission.
It's something I didn't really expect, and then my first day, you know, a couple stopped us, asked us a question. They started to walk away, and the guy came back. It turned out his father had Parkinson's. He opened up, the floodgates kind of opened, and I realized that that's what the ride's about. It's about the people we meet.
Their goal is to raise $200,000 for Parkinson's research and community support. Parkinson's, a currently incurable neurological disease, impacts about 110,000 Canadians. Well, it looks like they're having nicer weather in Calgary, Anne.
Yes, definitely. It is very wet for us out there. Cooler as well from what we've seen the last few weeks, really the whole month. Right now, we're sitting at 18 degrees at the Harbour, as well as Burnaby and North Vancouver. 17 in Surrey, 19 degrees in Pitt Meadows, and you're looking at 18 degrees in Abbotsford as well. So rainfall warning still in effect for most of Metro Vancouver. Howe Sound is stretching all the way to Central Fraser Valley, and that's including Abbotsford. By the time everything is said and done, we'll see anywhere between 50 to 80 millimeters of rain so far. As of 5 o'clock, we've seen 36.2 millimeters at the airport, and for the whole month of August, we usually see 36.1 millimeters. So we've seen a whole month's worth in a day. Here's a look at our weather tracker right now. Heavy rain continues for parts of the lower mainland, and as we head through the overnight, it will ease into tomorrow morning. We will still see some showers to start off the early morning hours, slowly drying up with some sunny breaks in there as well as we head through the afternoon and tomorrow evening. You'll see active weather for the southern interior tomorrow. Your provincial forecast at the bottom of your screen. Showers will continue for Port Hardy, 15 degrees. You'll see a mix of sun and cloud with a chance of afternoon thunder showers for Campbell River and Comox with a high of 21. Showers for Tofino and Port Alberni. Other than that, clears up quite nicely from Nanaimo right down to Victoria with temperatures between 20 and 22 degrees. You'll see a few showers and a chance of afternoon thunder showers for the Sunshine Coast with a high of 20. Cloudy with showers up the Sea to Sky Highway. A cool 16 degrees for Whistler, 18 for Squamish, and for us across the lower mainland. It'll start off with some showers, but it does dry up through the afternoon with some sunny breaks. Temperatures between 20 and 21. Clears up nicely on Sunday, back to seasonal temperatures at 22. Mostly cloudy skies for Monday and Tuesday, and then back to sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll see temperatures between 22 and 24 degrees. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. The last couple of weeks, I can't believe, of August, still looking nice and bright.
All right, how lucky are we? Thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, melatonin may be helpful in getting to sleep at night, but new research finds it could also help strawberry plants survive in extreme heat. And some local farmers say if the results are the same outside the lab, it could be a game changer for their crops. CTV's Yasmin Gandam reports.
Research out of the University of the Fraser Valley found melatonin reduces heat stress in alpine strawberries, increasing the resilience of the fruit.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy. It was really exciting.
Student researcher Emily Foster discovered berries that did not have melatonin in 30-degree weather saw a 30% survival rate, whereas the ones that had it.
And one cultivar had 56% survival and the other had 83%. So they were both significantly increased with added melatonin.
Foster says she plans to expand on her research in the fall and hopes it could be a tool for local farmers.
It's very likely that they will also use melatonin in the same way. My research is more of like a stepping stone. It's a first spot to start.
Melatonin is an antioxidant and helps protect the plant tissue. Rahul Singh is the director of SFU's Agritech Innovation Program. He says Foster's research is promising.
By significantly reducing leaf yellowing and drop off under 35 degrees, This approach can really safeguard strawberries yields in BC and other regions that are increasingly prone to heat waves.
It's something local farmers are also eager about, given the challenges they faced over the years dealing with drought and extreme heat.
And along with the heat stress, melatonin does actually help slow ripening as well. So some of the issues that strawberry farmers do have when it gets so hot is that the strawberries are getting ready too quick.
Amir Mann is a farmer at Mann Farms. He says strawberries have been the best they've been in a long time, but all that could change.
Outdoor in the field, we definitely could do a trial plot of even a few rows or even one of the houses that we have here.
Foster hopes this research can help farmers like Mann who have hoped for a magic solution to unforeseen circumstances, such as the weather. Yasmin Gandam, CTV News, Vancouver.
After the break, he's got a passion for problem solving. Adam introduces us to an Oak Bay teen who's striving to create unique solutions to problems he sees in his community. Coming up on the Sawatsky Sign Off. Right now, here's a preview of CTV Morning Live.
Can AI be trusted to act appropriately around children? Monday on CTV Morning Live, the concerns about chatbot behaviors and the policies major tech companies have about what's acceptable. Plus, we're tracking the latest on the Air Canada labor dispute. What will the impact be heading into a new week? We'll see you Monday morning.
News, weather, and traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live, weekdays 6 to 9.
NASA's Perseverance rover has made another strange discovery on Mars. This time, it's a helmet-shaped rock formation. Images released by NASA shows a peaked rock with what looks like a brim. It could be compared to a witch's hat or maybe a tent. NASA says the texture of the rock is similar to formations found on Earth, created by some kind of precipitation or volcanic process. A man in Toronto is racing streetcars to highlight the challenges transit users are facing. Mac Bauer is behind a weekly series on TikTok titled Man vs. Machine. It features his attempts to outrun streetcars along their regular routes. So far, he's undefeated, including in one case where he was 25 minutes ahead after stopping at Tim Hortons. He joined our sister station, CP24, this morning, along with his partner in content creation, about what inspired the project.
This probably came about a year ago, where my wife and I were taking the streetcar from High Park all the way to Leslieville, which isn't a super far distance. It's about 12 kilometers, and both my wife and I are runners, so we do that distance quite often, and we are very surprised that it took well over an hour. So during the ride, we looked at each other and went, oh, we could do this.
Got down to...
He wants to see transit improved through more designated streetcar lanes and priority left turns for streetcars. All right, Kevin and Ann, join me now. It's time for Friday Feel Good, a weekly roundup of unique events happening in Metro Vancouver. Here are 3 things worth checking out. The stage is set for one of Vancouver's most iconic summer festivals, Light Up Chinatown. The 5th annual event will celebrate the past, present, and future of the historic neighborhood all weekend long. Attendees can expect live music, cultural performances, and plenty of street food.
And the Water Lantern Festival will light up Coquitlam on Saturday night. People of all ages will gather in Town Centre Park to decorate their own lanterns, which will be released on Lafarge Lake when the sun sets. The celebration will also include live music, food trucks, and a scavenger hunt. Looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. Nice. Maybe we'll get a scenic snapshot.
Ooh, I hope so.
All right, Kevin, what else is going on?
We head to Port Moody. Leave the car at home this Sunday for Car-Free Day in Port Moody. St. John's Street will be shut down all afternoon for the environmentally friendly community celebration. Make a day of it by checking out the live music and performances, food vendors, and more than 100 businesses, artisans, and non-profit groups. I have been before, and the food is fantastic.
Like all festivals. And the good news is the rain's only today, so get outside and enjoy it.
Good timing. Yeah, if you like crowds, check it out. If you have any events you'd like to highlight, email your tips to ctvfeelgoods@ctv.ca. Well, can you believe it? It's August 15th. We're halfway through summer, weeks away from back to school, and families are trying to make the most of their time together. And that's true for these black bears in Coquitlam. A viewer sharing this video with us, you can see a cub walking along the fence with what we assume is the mother bear watching from the ground. And then a second cub appears. Oh, so cute. Completing the family outing. We're not sure what they were looking for, but they eventually wandered off soon after.
Looks like there's a trampoline there, too. I wanted to see them jump on the trampoline, but I guess not.
Yeah. All right, just before we get to the Sawatsky sign-off, Kevin Chirac is here with a preview of CTV News at 11:30. What's happening tonight?
Yeah, Mary, we are following possible strike action by Air Canada flight attendants. The latest numbers show more than 620 flights canceled and at least 100,000 people impacted across the country. 10,000 flight attendants are set to walk off the job tonight just before 10 p.m. They're in negotiations for a new contract seeking better wages and work conditions. Air Canada and the union seem far apart. Meanwhile, there is plenty of uncertainty for travelers. Flights are being changed or canceled, as mentioned, altogether, as people helplessly wait for the two sides to come to an agreement. We will have the very latest on CTV News at 11:30, hoping for a deal for all those stressed out travelers, especially at YVR. We saw the comments earlier today, right? People.
Yeah, in peak summer travel season. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. And finally for us, years after falling off a boat and being rescued from icy waters, a BC teen is on a mission to save lives. It all started when he couldn't find a solution to a problem and decided to create his own. Adam explains in this Encore Sawatsky sign-off.
Liam Poplow will never forget that windy day on the water that changed everything.
And it was one of my earlier days in sailing, so I wasn't quite as good at keeping my boat under control.
And he certainly wasn't capable of keeping his boat from capsizing and himself from plunging into the ocean.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like actually extremely cold.
But to appreciate what happened next, we need to go back to when Liam had a conversation with his grandma about seniors in care homes.
I was really concerned that they were feeling like lonely.
So Liam started writing letters to random seniors, enlisting his classmates to do the same, and delivering more than 200 cards on Valentine's Day.
So I just really wanted to make sure that they would be able to kind of feel the love and feel supportive and feel valued in our community.
So Liam expanded his project the next year, inspiring students in all the grades to send cards.
It was incredible to see that one of your ideas was able to actually help people.
Which is why, years later, after being rescued from the ocean, Liam wondered if he could help people facing hypothermia.
I guess I just like to look into stuff.
The problem was Liam couldn't find a fix to his situation, so he decided to create his own solution.
Kind of used little bits of previous knowledge and stuff like that so that I could just piece together a little bit of a puzzle.
What Liam pieced together was a self-heating life jacket featuring a pouch filled with chemicals that react with water, keeping you warm for more than an hour.
It will prevent hypothermia and prolong your chances of survival.
Life Heat has won multiple top prizes at provincial and national technology contests and recently beat out 10,000 students from 161 countries in a global entrepreneurship competition for first place.
I see big things in his future. He's going to do something phenomenal.
Hazel Braithwaite, who founded the annual Yes Awards in recognition of exceptional youth, praises the 14-year-old's ingenuity and initiative.
He doesn't just sit back and wait for somebody else to do it. He jumps in and tries it himself.
And Liam always seems to be thinking of others, whether he's investing thousands of dollars in prize money to create a viable version of Life Heat to support marine workers, or after 8 years, still producing his Valentine's project.
When you're engaged with this community and all the people around you, you realize all the things that you can improve.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Oak Bay.
Genius.
Impressive. Very impressive. I can't believe that.
I was still climbing trees at 14. That's amazing.
I was very I was not doing those things. His parents must be so proud.
Good for him and great for his community. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot tonight. A beautiful rainbow over Jasper. Thanks, Mark, for sending this gorgeous photo in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Beautiful photo. All right, Kevin Chirac is back at 11:30, and be sure to tune in with CTV Morning Live on Monday morning. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay dry this evening, and we'll see you on Monday. Take care.
Take care. A lot of Mario Kart when I was 14.
I don't remember what I was
A lot of Mario Kart.
I probably...